Stadium, let's take a check on the teams. And the Rhinos looking to bounce back from their defeat at Harlequins with this unchanged team. Webb is at fullback, then it's Smith, Ellis, Senior and Donald, Maguire and Burrow. The forwards, Luluai, Diskin, Bailey, Peacock, Ablett and Sinfield, who's the skipper. There's just one minor change, that's on the bench. Jamie Jones-Buchanan, Scruton, Tansey and Luke Burgess coming back into the starting 17 at the expense of Simon Worrell. The coach is Brian McLennan. St Helens, well, it hardly has changed 1-7 all year, although Matt Gidley does return tonight after injury. So it's Wellens, Gardner, Gidley, Tallow, Melly, Price and Long. Forwards, Graham, Cunningham, Hargreaves, Gilmore, Wilkin and Sculthorpe. And the bench, it's Roby, Clough, Farsivalou and Thompson. Unchanged from last week, 1-17. And the coach is Daniel Anderson. Well, it is the biggest game of the year so far. If they win with just 9 games remaining, Leeds would be 6 points clear, and they would be then odds on to finish with the league leaders' shield. But they did have their 9-game unbeaten run ended at Quins last week, so they're now just 4 ahead of the Saints, who are second in the table, and they've got this 10-game winning sequence behind them. The run includes 7 in a row in the Super League. St Helens' last defeat, Castleford, April the 7th. They were 7th in the Super League table then, and you know they'd lost half of their 10 fixtures up to that point. They emerged from their dressing room and out onto the Headingley field for what is a repeat of the grand final of last year. 2 free-scoring sides on show here. St Helens have scored 99 tries, Leeds 98, and there are short odds on them meeting at Old Trafford again in 2008. And St Helens supporters have travelled over here in great number in the sunshine to see whether St Helens can manage to beat the Rhinos on home soil. Well, Leeds have never lost 2 in a row yet under Brian McLennan. Last July under Tony Smith they lost 18-2 at Wigan, then they lost 16-23 at Wakefield. They have had the better of things against St Helens over the past couple of years. They won 14-10 at Nosey Road in March, and they've actually registered 4 wins from the last 5 meetings against Leeds Rhinos. There are almost 22,000 here in the corresponding fixture last year to see Leeds win by 38 points to 19. And looking round the ground today, with all the seats sold a couple of weeks ago, it looks as though we won't be far short of that figure here tonight. But before the game gets going, the rugby league world was shocked and saddened on Monday when it was announced that David Topless had died of a heart attack following a game of 5-a-side football. Topless was a Wakefield player and coach, a Hull legend, and he also gave service, of course, to Oldham. He is a former Great Britain captain who won just about every honour in the game. He was one of the top 5 leading try-scoring halfbacks of all time. And they're breaking with tradition here tonight. Minute silence is usually reserved for those with special Leeds connections. But such is David Topless's standing in the history of the game of rugby league that the crowd here will remember him in a second or two with a minute's silence. The rugby league world saddened, and we send our condolences to the family of David Topless, who was taken away from us suddenly on Monday, aged 58. In the game of rugby league here in the stadium, officials, players, referees, coaches, supporters, They all just remember David Topless for a minute. Sad day. But there are Engage Super League points to be won now by these two teams, and the big question we all have, of course, on our lips is, can the Leeds Rhinos bounce back from that defeat against Harlequins?
Well, I'm sure that their coach, Brian McLennan, would have gone all week saying that get positive, get yourselves back on track. Get on the horse again. Remember, the horse hasn't been shot. OK, it stumbled last weekend, but they will be firing with all cylinders. I'm going to show you with that.
And here's James Graham with the first run, and what a tackle from Jamie Peacock. The first collision of this match, and I think there will be plenty more of those to come over the next 80 minutes.
Well, that was a problem down at the Harlequins last week, and I'm sure Brian McLennan realised that the forwards did not take control, and therefore, if your pack is not in charge, then your half-backs are non-existent, and that was the case, Maguire and Barrow. But what about the clash? England's coach, Tony Smith, will be here watching. Will it be Leon Price or Danny Maguire for the England shirt?
Well, there are England places up for grabs, of course. The French test this time next week. We'll be bringing you live from Toulouse, and many of the players on show here tonight will be hoping they will be on the plane for that, and of course we'll be on the plane also to Australia at the end of the year with the England World Cup squad. There are candidates on both sides. Brent Webb is the dummy half for the Leeds Rhinos.
Rather surprising kick there by Sean Long. I would have thought that with the sun right in the Leeds player's eyes, he would have gone for a lot of height, but he kept it pretty low, probably wanting to get more distance. But in these conditions, you've got to make sure that you get it high.
Leeds in possession. We are at Hull Kingston Rovers tomorrow, and we'll be doing our own special tribute to the life of David Topless tomorrow, because Wakefield Trinity Wildcats, the club that he graced for so many years, will be providing the opposition. This now is Scott Donald for Leeds, and that's a poor kick straight down the throat of Paul Wellens.
Well, he was left with little option, was he, Scott Donald? Obviously, Leeds very happy to get the ball out wide. That was another problem that they had last week. You just got the impression every time Leeds had possession of the football, they wanted to score on every one. What a hit! Oh, Luluai, come to daddy!
Well, that's two big thumps that James Graham's had in the opening 2 minutes of this match already. James Graham just tackled by Kylie Luluai, and earlier on, the very first tackle of the match by Jamie Peacock. Here is Long in centre field, he finds Leon Price. They go wide to Wilkin, further wide, and the ball is spilled by Willie Talau.
Great opportunity. They nearly got a 2-on-1 out wide there. Obviously, they pinpointed the defensive qualities of Danny Maguire out there on that right-hand centre spot.
Here goes Gareth Ellis, but halted by Graham and Bryn Hargreaves. Matt Diskin waits dummy half for Leeds. This is Kevin Sinfield, the Rhinos captain. Scored in all 21 matches so far this year, Kevin Sinfield. Plays the ball to Diskin. It goes back to Maguire. He flicks the pass then to Peacock, named this week as the England captain for that test match against France. So in pole position, really, to claim the captaincy for the World Cup campaign. This now is Brent Webb, and he gets it out wide to Senior, and Senior will try and cut inside. Gidley flying tackle from the St Helens centre. Quick play the ball. It's Webb, it's Ablett, it's Donald, and it's St Helens big in defence.
It's amazing, both sides trying to apply the pressure on the right-hand defensive, but they were up to the task there. That was good work by Aidy Gardner. Stood very tall and big.
Welcome back to Super League for Paul Cullen, who spent a couple of weeks just recharging batteries, looking very fit and healthy. And you've not picked a bad match, Paul, to start the recuperation.
Really looking forward to it, Eddie, and probably more than anything else to watch the comeback of Paul Sculthorpe. You know, fantastic player throughout the full length of his career, and good to see him getting decent game time, back in his best position at loose forward as opposed to in the second row. And you know, that kind of touch that we've just seen has been the hallmark of a fantastic career to date.
Indeed so. Oh, and the ball is knocked back towards Sean Long and is picked up by the St Helens scrum half. There's a Leeds player on his haunches meanwhile, and it's Rob Burrow, I think.
Yeah, the little half-back is receiving attention.
This is Brent Webb, meanwhile. There is Burrow, a little bit of cause for concern for the Rhinos at the moment. And let's not forget, of course, concern for Tony Smith, the England coach. Discussing this on Boots and All on Wednesday. He said, what happens if Rob Burrow gets injured? The England coach watching on, and will be anxious to make sure that Burrow takes his place in this full part in this match. And he's in the line now as Leeds begin this next attack with Peacock. Tries to go round Wilkin.
You can see Peacock there trying to carry the ball high and twisting the tackle, looking for the offload. It was good work by Price.
Maguire, short ball to Ellis. Operating today in the centres. He and Ablett have switched positions from that they were playing in last week. Maguire with a dab over the top. It's gobbled up by Melly, who gives it to Wellens on his own goal line. Wellens still going, got away from Bailey, got away from a couple more before Webb came in with the kill.
Both of these sides tend to have had the best defensive records in Super League for the last year or two. What that means when they play against one another, both well-drilled, well-organised, means that the tries that we tend to see are spectacular individual efforts. Very often contenders for try of the season, because it takes that level of skill and speed to break through what is just well-structured defensive line.
Another flying tackle from Peacock. This time it was on Gilmore. Here is Graham.
Tremendous run by Graham. You know, every time this fella gets the ball, he always seems to get over the advantage line. It's a wonderful lift for the same side.
High kick from Wilkin, who's off the outside of the boot and finishes up on the outside of the pitch.
Both sides a little cautious, back end of the sets. No one looking to overplay at the moment. That completion rate, that kick game, the battle for field position is very evident.
And again, Eddie, it has surprised me that they kick to the left-hand side. You can see with the lengthening shadows, it's down to the right-hand corner. They're not utilising it. Surely, Daniel Anderson will get the message out quickly.
This is Diskin. Maguire waits at dummy half as Hooker Diskin gets to his feet. This is Luluai. What a drive in! Straight at the chest of Paul Sculthorpe. And Sculthorpe picks himself up and gets back in the defensive line. Burrow to Maguire. Maguire gets away from Long, can't get away from Gidley and Gilmore.
Good collision there, though, by Sean Long. He knew he had to. Maguire was throwing the dummy.
Sinfield will hoist the kick wide. Melly is underneath this. Doesn't get it, though. It comes back to Luluai, over the shoulder from Luluai. That was careless, and Melly has got it back.
Quick play of the ball, that's what they need. There's about half a dozen Leeds players. Oh, and they've given away the penalty. Ellis says, well, I couldn't get out of the way. Ganson says, I'm the boss. You could have. Quite clearly, he could have let go of the leg, could have got himself in a position. Pretty fortunate there not to get the yellow card. That looked like a professional foul to me.
Settle, boys. Hold.
That's the first penalty of the match. It's gone St Helens' way, and Graham again.
Well, the attention that James Graham received is recognition of the fact that he's probably been the best front rower in this competition for the last month, and Leeds know they need to get on top of him and control his early charges.
That was Cunningham. Here is Long, who looks at Wilkin and eventually finds Wellens. Wellens tries to go on the inside of Ablett. Ablett and Diskin there to bring him down. A little dangerously, but the legs didn't go up above waist height. It's with Gidley now. And Gidley standing. There's the pass out the back to Gardner. And Bailey tracked him back all the way.
Good work from Bailey there. And again, we see the quality of Matt Gidley offloading. We'll see plenty of that today.
This is Talao. And Talao gets the ball out wide to Francis Melly. And Melly is halted by Brent Webb and then passes the ball to Lee Smith.
Well, it was a patsy for Smith. Melly did all the hard work, twisted in the tackle, offload straight into the blue and amber shirt.
Well, for the second week in a row, we've seen Leeds exposed on their right-hand side. Melly and Talao will receive lots of possession and chances to go there again tonight.
Webb, the dummy half. Down the middle here with Luluai. That's a good tackle by Sculthorpe. That's four gone.
Getting through a lot of work, Paul Sculthorpe, in that defensive area.
That's a high shot on Sinfield from Leon Price. And he's actually given it for offside, the referee. Price looked at the referee, almost gave himself up. It was a high shot from the St Helens standoff.
Well, it didn't look too bad there. If there was anybody offside, it was Wilkin that appeared to jump. Either way, Rhinos will not be complaining.
Here is Luluai.
Watch for the switch to the blind.
Diskin. Here is Sinfield trying to dance his way past Paul Sculthorpe. Now 2 tackles gone. Diskin short ball bounces, goes backwards. Diskin has it. This is Maguire. Here is Webb. Now it's with Burrow. Burrow then gives it to Ablett, and Ablett tries to go inside. Gidley can't do. Good defence from Gidley and Gilmore again. Burrow to Webb. Webb on the bounce, it finds its way to Bailey. Price is after him. Bailey gets away from him. That's tackle number 4, says referee Steve Ganson. And another penalty underneath the sticks for the Leeds Rhinos. Cunningham and Bailey eyeballing each other. Not happy, Kieran Cunningham.
Well, he said he was just trying to get out of the way, but he was pretty quick with the whistle with Steve Ganson. Surely they'll take the 2 on offer. It's vital that either side... And they've gone for the tap instead.
They have here is Peacock. Bang in front of the sticks, 2 points spurned, they want 6. Maguire, Webb. Oh, not the best pass, finds its way to Ablett though. And Ablett releases the pass and gives it to Gardner. Well, it should have been 2-0. It's 0-0.
I'm with you, Eddie, they should have taken the 2 on offer. Ablett trying to squeeze the ball.
Here's Leon Price. And now Leeds are pinged for offside.
All right, we want one more from Steve Ganson, then it's level. Let's sort it out, let's get on with the game. He's obviously trying to take control of this match. He's the man with the whistle. And with so much talent on show, so many internationals out there, everybody in this packed stadium is looking forward to something sensational, and I think we'll get it.
Couple of real examples of great slide defence from St Helens when they were defending that try line before. Leeds didn't have backdoor runners, no one coming from the second position out the back, and St Helens just slid off.
Wellens here now for St Helens. They're now about 22 metres away from the Leeds line with Cunningham, and he'll motor it forward, flashes the ball to Hargreaves.
Just overrunning to the prop forward there. Hat-trick last week, he'll be looking for a repeat of that, I'm sure.
Sean Long electing to go left and finds Gilmore.
Back to the line. Hold.
Last tackle here for St Helens. It's with Long. He'll slide the kick in behind the defence. Burrow is there, and Burrow with work to do.
Nice step. As soon as he had the step, Daniel Anderson knows that perhaps it wasn't the best kick, but he'll be happy with the fact that Leeds opted to go for the quick tap, and they lost it on the second occasion. Got to get through your sets of 6.
Leeds trying to do that here. This is Ablett's big hit by Long. Gidley there also.
It's good defence.
Sculthorpe coming in just to finish Ablett off, and he felt that, did the Leeds second row. It's a penalty here to St Helens.
Obstruction. He utilised the man in front. Well, they've been pretty strict of late. There's no doubt about it. He'd used Bailey.
St Helens take the quick tap, and this is Graham.
Come on.
Now it's with Cunningham, who finds Leon Price. Price to Wellens, low down, picks it up well, comes on the inside, Paul Wellens. Just hauled down by the Leeds defence, Maguire and Peacock in attendance. That's Wilkin, and that is Talau! And Talau! He's held up, I think. He's lost the ball, never mind held up. Talau has been forced into the error, and it's a knock-on.
Tremendous defence. Ellis piggybacked, got on the top. Maguire got right into the ribs. Was it stolen? No, according to the official Ganson. But that was tremendous defence. For the coach, Brian McLennan, he'll be as happy as anything about that. They were really under the pressure.
And a great view, didn't he, Steve Ganson? Really worked hard to get himself there. Arms were pulling away at the ball-carrying arm and not the ball. Great piece of play from the defence and also from the referee.
Frustration for Daniel Anderson. because of that knock-on on only the second tackle. Matt Diskin is clapping his hands at dummy half for Leeds and will go on a little run himself, halted though by Hargreaves first and then Price.
I think we'll see a little bit more from Matt Diskin. He was pretty quiet over the last couple of weeks. Not many runs. That's a good positional kick. They'll be happy with that. Let's not forget also that it's quite hot out there. Sun streaming into their faces, and as long as they can just let the clock tick over. Getting the message down is the boss, Mr. McLennan.
Well, Danny Maguire there, who just put that little kick in. He and his half-back partner Rob Burrow yesterday. They have signed 5-year deals that will keep them at Headingley until the end of 2013, which effectively is a signature that Leeds have got on a contract for those two for life. I know they're only 25 years of age, but they'll be 30 by the time that contract is finished.
It's tremendous that. It's very rare you find a 5-year contract in any sport, and you've got to give a lot of credit to this Leeds outfit. They have that confidence, and they have the confidence that they can produce the goods for those 5 years. And let's face it, they are very good players, Maguire and Barrow.
And two Leeds lads as well wanted to go and play nowhere else. Meanwhile, Mauri Farsavalou has a problem here, and this fellow, well, he does not stay on the deck unless there is a serious problem.
Well, three of the St Helens players actually were complaining whilst the tackle was taking place. I think James Graham, Kieran Cunningham, Long and Gidley all putting their arms there and complaining that they're actually hyperextending his arm at some stage here. Ryan Bailey, you see that over the top. And of course, Ellis has his legs wrapped around his Farsavalou's legs, twisting them. We saw that happen, and Rob Parker has been penalised and suspended for that in the past.
Well, you're right, it looks like a chicken wing tackle, doesn't it?
It's the legs that are more concerned because the legs twist.
But look at Bailey, he was attempting to do that on the left shoulder.
Ryan Bailey.
And when you get the leg around,
Ryan, James.
nothing wrong, of course. It's allowed to put the leg down to help a man get through.
I think the referee is going to place this whole incident on report.
I think, Mike, I think you've got a combination of two there. You've got the chicken wing from Ryan Bailey. You've also got the so-called ninja scissor kick from Gareth Ellis, where he drops down with a weight. I wouldn't suggest intentionally on the ankle leg of the player. So he's been done with two big shots, one the chicken wing and one the ninja.
Well, it's a tackle count continuing, but the incident placed on report by Steve Ganson.
Well, there'll be one guy up in the stand. Daniel Anderson will be hoping that there's nothing really wrong with Farsavalou.
We at the field position, lads, inside or outside.
That's a great kick, isn't it? Wonderful.
I think he was looking for a 40-20, Sean Long, but the ball just bounced away from the touchline and towards the in-goal area. So Leeds in possession with Donald. Remarkable Scott Donald. He has not missed a minute of a single game since he joined the Leeds Rhinos from Manly 3 seasons ago. A truly incredible record, and what's more, just one try behind Adi Gardner at the top of the Super League try-scoring charts this year.
It's very rare you find a real tough hombre that plays out under the wing, but he's certainly improved, and I think he's getting better each season. He really has been in top form so far this year.
Burrow with a long pass to Webb, who finds Ablett, and here is Senior. That's good play though from Long, although he does dump the ball into the arms of Donald, and Donald again having to do the kicking. That's the second time in the opening 17 minutes, and straight into Welland's arms yet again.
Brian McLennan will be furious.
I don't think he will, Steve, but that's got to be an intentional play on the last tackle twice to run the ball and see what they get out of it. If they don't get anywhere, they'll kick the ball.
What, just kick it straight down the throat of Paul Welland, one of the dangerous players in the world?
Knock on here for Brian McLennan to celebrate. Melly losing control of the ball. Head and feet at the scrum coming up to Leeds.
Good hit, wasn't it? Tremendous impact there. Ryan Bailey making sure he got the shoulder into the ball carrying arm. It's often a problem though with top-class professional players. They go in with the ball carrying arm first.
This is Senior, fed by Maguire. Webb scampers in at dummy half. He'll give it to Ablett on his inside. Not too much progress forward from Ablett. Burrow in at dummy half this time. Finds Kevin Sinfield. Flying tackle from Gilmore.
Well, this is the type of play now that Diskin's got to go and have a little bit of a scoot on his own.
Well, there he goes, and he gives it to Burrow. Burrow then to Senior.
Ball, okay? Ball.
Burrow again. Waits at dummy half, and Senior wags a finger of admonishment at the Australian centre, Matt Gidley. It's Nick Scruton now for Leeds.
Good refereeing there by Ganson. He just waved it away. Get on with it, he said.
Webb. Maguire. Dink over the top. A tester again for Francis Melly. Tackled in the air.
Got to be a penalty. Oh no, he said take it on the tap.
Oh, he says play on.
Well, surely was taken with his feet off the ground there.
Looked like it. Definitely.
Oh, come on. Lee Smith was all over him.
Got there too late, Lee Smith, didn't he, to really justify challenging for the ball in the air.
Hargreaves. Almost through, but 4 tackles gone. Cunningham will make further ground forward, as will Long. Long then finds Gidley. Gidley gives it to Gardner. Here's the Super League top try scorer. Hacks it forward. It's a good kick too, and Gardner's after it. Webb is lolloping after it. Gardner's there. Great play by A.D. Gardner. Great play now by Scott Donald.
Super stuff.
Fantastic run from the 2 wingers.
Well, the kick from Gardner was too good, really. That looked a high shot. Burrow says, I'll get on with it. Crowd boo. Makes no difference.
Here's Lee Smith. Keeping hold of his place, Lee Smith, after last week's defeat at Harlequins. His last try in Super League Easter Monday. Scruton, it's getting tasty out there, involving these top 2 teams in the Engage Super League.
Well, we didn't expect tiddlywinks, that's for sure. And, you know, you look at it...
Great play from Maguire. What a beautiful shimmy. Looking for support, though, is none there. Now there is with Ellis. And Ellis can't get past the last defenders. That's the turnover. What a run from Maguire. Support from Ellis, but it comes up with a blank.
First real break from either side. They've had a few little half shimmies. Wonderful stuff there. That'll build his confidence, Danny Maguire. Just through the dummy, step off the left foot, and he was away.
Said at the start of this show, it will take something special to score a try. These 2 teams don't give those 4 points away that easily. Even when you break, you need to flood forward and support to the man with the ball, because both sides have got quick players who will recover as quickly as they will strike.
And that's the point I was trying to make, Phil, is the fact that, you know, with 20 minutes into the game, very few opportunities, and yet they turned down the chance of taking 2 points leads.
They did. I think both of these sides feel as though they'll need 3 or 4 tries to be comfortable and win the match. Maybe it takes more of your opponents defending their own line. Even if you don't come up with those 2 points, to challenge them for 6 players defending their own line early in a game is a ploy that a lot of these teams adopt.
Well, we were calling for it time and time again, and Leon Price has found it. A high kick. This is the break. Oh, beautiful stuff, wasn't it? No support. Ellis was out wide. He got it away. And they got back in numbers. Again, Paul Wellens. How many times have we seen Paul Wellens finish it? This is the sun in the face of Scott Donald. That's the reason why he lost it. He did have no idea where the kick from Liam Price was.
It was a fantastic kick from Price, though. It was deep, it was high, and it found the right side of the whitewash. Hence the reason why Leeds are trying to work this ball away from their own line now here with Peacock.
James, come on, mate. 2, you've been called out.
And Diskin. Ball back on the inside to Ellis. I think you're right, fellas. I think the tries that come tonight will be very, very reluctantly conceded. Scruton.
I reckon if St Helens get an opportunity to get the 2 in front, they'll take them. This is going to be a tight affair.
Ablett again. Thought about the little slip pass to Webb. Plays the ball to him instead. And Maguire just thumps the ball down the middle of the park. Francis Melly is after this. He's played at it. Melly trying to use his strength as an extra forward to drive it downfield and up the middle.
Did you notice there, Paul Wellens, as soon as Melly got that football, he was aware. Remember last week? It was Melly that offloaded, and poor old Wellens didn't realise that he was actually going to pass it.
Paul Clough. Scruton and Senior combining to bring Clough down. Roby, good run from Roby. Spinning in the tackle, was held by the collar, couldn't get the ball away. That's tackle number 4. Long is dummy half. Here is James Graham. Graham then gives it to Leon Price. Back on the inside to Mari Farsavalou. Steps through the challenge of Brent Webb. Try for St Helens. Mari Farsavalou. Referee has not given it yet because he wants to check a possible obstruction in the build-up to the try.
Well, if anything, I'd have to say that Sinfield has actually gone to tackle someone rather than the other way around. He's certainly a dumber runner, but he's stopped and he's been pushed off. I think this will stand. He's a long, long way away from the man that gets the ball in the end. There's Price, and to my opinion, the ball was going back on the inside, so Sinfield would not have been involved. This will be confirmation. I'm not so sure that Mr. Anderson will be pleased with the method that try was scored.
If this is given for Mari Farsavalou, it'll be the 4th time he's come on as a substitute and scored, and the 4th time he's come on as a substitute in a row and scored is registered. And Daniel Anderson, I don't know whether he was just asking there, whether he wondered why the referee Steve Ganson had gone to check out all that, but best to be safe than sorry. And Mari Farsavalou comes up with the opening try of the match, and it was a great bump off against Brent Webb.
It's all about changing the position of play and back on the inside. And you can see there they've gone out into the open line, and if you're off balance, Farsavalou, twinkle toes, what a fend. Determination, but what about that? He could have dropped it. He's happy now because it's TRY time. I'd like to have seen his face if he'd have dropped it.
Long to try and add the extra 2 from bang in front, and the question against Long's kicking there purely academic, and it's 6 points to 0 to St Helens.
It's all about taking your opportunities. He certainly did on that occasion. Watch for the inside pass. That was the key. Price knew that the big fella was coming. What about the fend here? Boof, get out of the way.
Delighted, wasn't he, to score the try? Mari Farsavalou.
Wouldn't like to be that patch of grass. Boy, didn't he give that some?
Oh, Graham has broken the tackle now. Gets it away to Wilkins.
Good play by Maguire there, you know. There was an open run. It looks like Wilkins picked up a knock as well. Oh, he's in trouble.
Yes, he is. Plays the ball a bit gingerly. By the way, we have just seen the 100th try in Super League 13 from St Helens, scored by this man, Mari Farsavalou. 100 for the season. And watch this, it is round 18. Let's get down to Bill.
Eddie, you might be wondering what Mari Farsavallou's celebration was when he got that try, a little rockabye baby gesture to the crowd. Well, he and his wife celebrating the birth of their 2nd child this week, little girl Helena, born to Mari Farsavalou. So plenty for him to celebrate this week already.
Yes, congratulations to them, and congratulations to Farsavalou on a great try and a great move by St Helens that was. They lead 6-0 here.
Geez, I hope he doesn't rock the baby as hard as that. Dear me. Will be straight out of the pram.
This is Luke Burgess now. Gets the ball away to Burrow, who ducks away from Gidley. Can't get away from Graham, though.
This is one thing that Leeds are very good at. The Rhinos can respond extremely quickly. They'll step up another gear. They know they have to. He's got the foot offside.
He has.
This will be pumped right down into that right-hand corner. Now keep your eye on Mr. Peacock. This is the type of distance that he likes to have a real strong run. There's Farsavalou. Rockabye baby.
Burgess with the first try for Leeds, this set of 6. They're 10 metres away. They go down the short side with Maguire. Maguire can't get past the 2 solid defenders for St Helens. Here is Sinfield. Reverse pass to Diskin. Diskin dances away from one, finds Maguire again. Can he get away from Leon Price? But he can't, but here is Peacock. And Peacock still Jamie Peacock, so close. Leeds looking to level the scores here with the try and the goal as Diskin tries to burrow his way over. He's halted by the Sphinx defence. Very alert then, Wilkin and Wellens. This is Webb. Here is Burrow. Burrow to Ablett. And Ablett can't get past Sean Long. But the referee has, I think, given offside against Sean Long.
Long just had a little bit of look at the touch judge here on that left-hand side. This looks good kill.
Another set of 6 for St Helens to repel. This is Scruton. Sinfield to Burrow, and Burrow trying to go around Gidley again, throwing a big dummy out wide, but St Helens wouldn't be fooled. This is Webb. Webb still.
They need second phase. It's one out too much. They've got to have someone coming late.
Maguire did well to pick that ball up off his bootlaces. Ellis is halted by great defence again. Roby at the heart of that. That was Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Here is Peacock. Still Jamie Jones-Buchanan.
Good job that Willie Tallow was there. Buchanan was looking to spin around and offload. This is a kick, surely.
And it comes up for Kevin Sinfield, I think.
It's try time.
But is he offside? The referee has handed it upstairs to Ashley Klein. Kevin Sinfield has scored in all 21 matches so far this year. Normally with the boot, of course. Looks like he might be onside. And it's the grounding that might be critical as well.
Oh, he's well onside. Maguire, the little dink into the in-goal area.
Well, the ground announcer's given this.
So have I.
And I think Ashley Klein will now.
Yep. This will square it up. Surely it's an easy conversion. It isn't often that you catch Paul Wellens out of position. There's confirmation. But that is what the kick from the standoff Danny Maguire has done to allow the captain Sinfield to surely level the scores. It's 6-4, kick to come.
Yes, he's scored in 51 games in a row before tonight, so it's 52 now. And the David Watkins all-time record of 92 in a row is well within Kevin Sinfield's sights. Third try of the season for him. And Sinfield here now, bang in front, will surely level the scores for the Leeds Rhinos. This for 6 apiece. And 6 apiece it is. The champions and league leaders 6. St Helens beaten grand finalists and setting second in the table 6.
They went out very quickly, and you can see there that Sinfield is well and truly in an onside position. That's good. And that has got it all square here. Look at Wellens. Very rare do you find him in a position that he cannot interfere with anyone going in for it. It was a beautiful piece of play though, wasn't it, by Danny Maguire.
And 1,900 career points for Kevin Sinfield now for this Leeds club. A remarkable record for him. 6 apiece, half an hour gone. Could have just waited till 8 o'clock and started all over again.
Well,
right. I think the news, Steve-O. Sorry, it's Bill.
Yeah, Maury Fasavalu has finally had to succumb to that injury he picked up when he was the victim of that tackle that's been put on report. He's now on the sidelines having treatment on the leg that he suffered the injury to.
Great work on the ground from Jamie Jones-Buchanan and Senior, who finds Webb. This is the last tackle here as Fasavalu watches on with the rest of us. Jamie Jones-Buchanan bounces back and ricochets to Sinfield. Sinfield still can't get the ball away. That's the turnover. Even though it came off a St Helens body or hand or arm,
the ball
it was the ball playing the man.
Certainly was. The Leeds fans didn't like it. But this is a pretty good position for the Rhinos now. They've got this St Helens side well and truly only 15 metres away from their own goal line.
Francis Melly for St Helens.
To give you some indication how good this Rhinos defence is today, is the fact that St Helens normally, in the case of 5 tackles, get well and truly to the halfway line, if not over it. And they're going to struggle here.
Roby to Clough, Clough to Hargreaves, Hargreaves infield it goes to Wilkin, and his opposite number Gareth Ellis was all over him then. Gets up, plays the ball to Price. Good run from Bryn Hargreaves again. They're over halfway for the last tackle. They will kick deep, or they will be in a moment, over halfway. And it's with Leon Price. Good deep kick from him into the sun. This time Donald watches it carefully.
Good position as well by Scott Donald. He turned his body sideways so he didn't have to look into the sun.
Webb.
Well, they have an amazing effort, haven't they, Leeds, to bounce back, and then they got that second set of 6 when Long was caught offside. It's all about pressure.
They certainly made the most of it. This is Lee Smith. Diskin waiting again, gives it to Maguire. Maguire tries to come on the inside. Oh, brilliant ball to Webb! Lee Smith's in support! Lee Smith's in support and he couldn't find him! Perhaps the pass should have come earlier. Here comes the counter now with Willie Talau.
Certainly should have gone earlier. He opted to take on the man first, then offload. He really should have been looking for the support play earlier than that.
Just the little glimmer that St Helens need, maybe.
But what about the skillful pass from Maguire?
Here is Gilmore. He'll come up the middle. Oh, Scroop! What a good hit!
Oh, Gilmore felt that. Oh, that looked a bit touch forward. Got away with it.
Paul Clough. That's the third tackle for St Helens, deep in Leeds territory here. Roby, Price. And Price showing it both ways, gives it then to Sam Thompson. Sam Thompson, a bricklayer by trade during the day, but given the day off today, because it's such an important match this tonight. That's Willie Talau, last tackle. It's with Sean Long, and Long will dink it to the in-goal area. It's a great kick, and it will bounce up, and it will be a try for Hargreaves.
He can't stop scoring.
He can't.
Have a look at the tackle.
He got 3 in 20 minutes last week. He'd waited over 30 games for his first try for St Helens, and now he's got 4 in 2 weeks.
Actually, Sean Long was taken off the ball very late there.
It's a fantastic kick.
He gets the impact, and watch the Leeds player go into him. They're onside. He wants to see how on earth it bounces about. Oh, there's nothing you can do about that. That is just sheer luck. Take nothing away from Hargreaves. I'm having another try. Nobody touches it. No one interferes. That's what the video referee, Ashley Klein, has to see, whether there's anybody pulled back or what. And I think this will be given.
And here's the decision from Ashley Klein, and the try is given, and St Helens are back in front, courtesy of Bryn Hargreaves. A hat-trick in 20 minutes against Bradford. That was his first start, by the way, in 2 months last week. Fielden moved in to Wigan. Bryn Hargreaves moved out, and he's now scored 4 tries in a game and a half. Well, and he's having a week and a half.
Certainly is. It's full credit, though. If you put the kick in, and it was a good one from Long, and it just bounced off the cover on the post. Sheer fluke, but the intention was there. They practiced this, not this scoring, don't worry. Though, as I say, Hargreaves got a hat-trick last week. He certainly knows how to put the ball down, that's for sure. Oh, what a turnaround. You need a little bit of lady luck in any sport, and it certainly went the Saints' way on that occasion. Can he convert it?
Sean Long to add the extras, and he's just pulled it the wrong side of the post. Now that might be a price, might be a little bit expensive rather come the end of the match, but Hargreaves, 4 tries in less than a game and a half.
Did very well to score that try, didn't he, St Helens, with Graham off the field and Cunningham off the field. 2 young prop forwards, real sign of the intent. You know, how many times would have Sean Long practiced that kick? I think the technique is to kick across the face of the first post, possibly through, because you lose its sight for a fraction.
That was a crafty kick-off there, you know. St Helens had set up for the kick over on that left-hand side, and it left Sean Long all on his own. They nearly got away with it, did the Rhinos. Great kickoff.
It's almost like a Kevin Peterson reverse stance, that, wasn't it? Look, he reversed it. He was going that way. You're right, Steve-o. Going right, and decided to go left and go short.
They were looking to get away with it. Well, the rub of the green, going the red and whites at the moment.
Here is Leon Price. This is Long. Long to Wilkin. And Long gets the ball away brilliantly to Wellens. And Wellens is nearly through. Important tackle that by Luke Burgess. Quick play the ball. Roby hangs on the last. Wants to play it quickly to Leon Price. Does so in the end. Up goes the kick. Long. That will catch the eyes in the sunshine. Donald, though, is absolutely safe underneath it, as it turns out. It's a different kettle of fish, this match, isn't it, to the one earlier in March at Knowsley Road. The players, the supporters, all of us, we nearly died of hypothermia that night. And here we are now in the sunshine on this glorious early summer evening. Well, actually, it's longest day tomorrow, isn't it?
Midway through.
Yeah, longest day tomorrow. The sun streaming down on this match, and well, it might.
Still plenty of time, though, for the Rhinos to fight back. Now then, what sort of kick will it be? It's on that blind side.
Outside.
It's from Maguire, straight up the middle. Bounces and eventually off the foot of Gardner. He did well to take his hand away from that then.
What about the impact there from little Rob Burrow? Watch Burrow come in. It did right. The referee was in a good position. And then Burrow gave him a shoulder. Oh, nearly split him in two.
It's Gidley. Offloads to Roby. Here comes Thompson. Defence from Leeds. Coach is rotating the big men up front. This is Long, and he's away from Sinfield. Oh!
That's a knock-on. Play on now, back to 6.
I think it wasn't a knock-on. It certainly went back to 0 in the tackle count because the Leeds player touched it. This is Thompson. Here is Wellens. This is Hargreaves. Thinking about 2 for a moment there, Bryn Hargreaves.
He's hunting, don't worry.
Roby waits. Roby to Long. Long dabs the ball in behind them. And that's just too long from Long.
Well, that's
it was very early in the tackle count there.
On the second tackle. Beautiful break, though. He's still got it. And that was a knock-on there by Lee Smith. Put a fingertip to it. Now then, can Leeds get back into this game?
How dangerous does St Helens look when you get your 6 and your 7 in combination? Sean Long and Leon Price, they've done it a lot more than Leeds have. We've not seen a combination yet, I don't think, from Rob Burrows and Danny Maguire. Every time Saints get 6 and 7 working on the same play, they look like they're going to make a break and score.
Here's Burrow now, but halted by Gidley, tackle number 4. There's the ball to Webb, and it's Maguire. Just delayed the pass, takes the tackle from Gilmore, who plays the ball then Maguire to Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Webb with a crossfield kick. That finds Lee Smith. Lee Smith is clattered by Melly, but it's still play on. Sinfield dabs the ball over the top. The bounce was kind for Willie Talau.
I thought he was going to pass again.
I did. Oh, the referee has called the tackle complete. He called the tackle complete.
Yeah. And then he pulls it out. The officials got it spot on. Much to the dismay of Kevin Sinfield.
Might have been pulled back for a knock-on anyway, minded, from the one-on-one strip.
He'll be disappointed, Brian McLennan. He knows they've had plenty of possession, many of opportunities.
Could have been a crucial score, that, just before half-time.
Saints have been brilliant for me in this first half. The only problem they've had is the penalties that they've conceded for offside, which I guess at times was some over-enthusiasm, getting up off the line too quickly. But they've looked good, they've looked strong. And when Leeds have lost at home, it's probably because they've not been tough enough or mean enough in the forwards. That's the test for them now in the second 40. Toughen up in the middle.
And St Helens just edge in front a bit more. No, that's over the shoulder of Gilmore. Can Leeds then strike back? Because here is Webb.
It's worth a kick and a chase.
Goes wide to Lee Smith. Melly's all over him. And there's the half-time siren. Daniel Anderson, who's in charge of his 200th game as a first-grade coach with the New Zealand Warriors, and of course, as St Helens leaves the scene of a